Welcome to a platform where we debate on the top stories of the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, and other leagues with the best in the world of sports. You'll also get interviews with many athletes and media talents at several basketball events, including the WNBA and college basketball. My name is Rafiq Ulazon, and this is Nothing But That Sports Talk.
Gray finding her stroke here late. 18 thus far. Trying to get over that 20 hump she has. Final money ball. She connects on. Make it two. John Quill for the win. No! She falls one short. And Alicia Gray makes history. Agubawale. You bet! It's a heater worthy of Phoenix in July. After those games over on ESPNU, two more. Agubawale, you bet! There it is! An all-star record, 32 points.
What a WNBA All-Star Weekend it was. As I welcome to this episode, Nothing But That Sports Talk. And joining me this time is a guy who actually was at All-Star Weekend in Phoenix, Joshua Thompson, who does hosting and works for Aces. Welcome to the show again.
Hey, my brother. Thank you for having me here again. It's always a pleasure to be on your show. I love just how your intent is with the game and your coverage, man. I've been watching you, for a while, so I appreciate, man, this time and this opportunity.
Yeah, I'll give you opportunities to even come on the show, and the same way you had an opportunity to be down in Phoenix and be involved with Aces, expanding their brand. And
yes, sir.
Let's just get to it. Let's start off with the little Aces gathering that you had, where you got influencers and hoopers coming together for a 3-hour event, like literally the hours before the skills and 3-point challenge. What is that experience like?
Listen, man, when we're down in Phoenix, it's WNBA All-Star Weekend, with all of the hype and all of the talk and all of the focus that has gone into the WNBA this year. It was an exciting place to be. And by hype, I don't mean like hype as in it's not real, but the hype in fact is just the full-on excitement. So having an opportunity to have a live activation take place down there, where Aces partnered with Google Pixel Squads, who has been running different leagues and games all across the country, truthfully speaking, Body Armor, and Red Bull, man. It was just something that's just like when you got all those different brands apart collaborating for something as special as the WNBA All-Star Weekend, then the ceiling is just it's to the sky, right? So it was something that was unbelievable, man, to have an opportunity to be there for and to host. I was hosting the Queen of the Courts activation that took place there, and these girls came out to play. They were not playing around. It was exciting. It was competitive. And I just love that part, when you get a chance to experience something like that, especially for a weekend such as All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, it's All-Star Weekend. You and Brian had to come together to put something special. Because when else are you going to get together some of the best basketball influencers like Brittany and Lena and Jenna, Brandy, pretty much just name a few, for the little Aces event that you guys have, that little 2 or 3 hour event you had prior to it. They have a chance to hoop and showcase their skills against other influencers to show them that they know how to play, even when they're not playing the pros right now. If they're not playing the pros, they're creating content related to basketball. Oh yeah, Hannah Flynn was there too.
Yeah, man. You know what? That is exactly what you said. That is a perfect opportunity for them to showcase that, hey, listen, not only am I covering the game, am I creating for the game or speaking about the game, but I know the game. I play the game. I have a feel for it. And it's not just something where it's just appealing, but it's something that I actually put in the sweat and the tears. I put in the sweat equity into doing. So it's very it's just dope, man, to see like you said, the Brittany Elena's, the Jenna Brandy's, Hannah Flynn's, like all of them get together and to have them under one roof to have opportunity to play is like, it's sweet, man. It's dope,
Yeah, it's dope. Well, you could probably narrate everything because you were down there. While I was just pretty much listening on all the Zoom calls, and the players gave like all their best response to the questions when being asked about playing the All-Star game and all the different players involved with it. all the people watching it, and not to mention Kat Engelberg giving like her insight on the future media deals that they have with the WNBA. I mean, I just found out like this past week that they're going to start a new deal, just like a new 10-year deal. Not only will you see the WNBA finals being televised at ESPN for a few years, but you're also going to see some WNBA final series being played on Amazon Prime and an NBC. So the fact that that's even happening, that's just another example of why the league is growing. I mean, we'll get to that in a minute, but how about, and also I know, well, either you or Brian, you managed to, at the very least, witness Flau'jae Johnson, a baller from LSU, rap in an all-star boardroom party.
Listen, man.
What was the atmosphere like?
Listen, the atmosphere. See, women, I love the energy. I love the intention. I love the passion that women's sports, but in more specific, the WNBA, that they have. They did an amazing job hosting their All-Star weekend in Phoenix. The atmosphere is just one where it's more of a celebration and an uplifting of the game. There's been years and years of work these women have put in building the league and building the brand, and guys too, but, really just trying to make a name for themselves. And along the way, they haven't shifted and they haven't grown weary to the point where they've stopped. They've continued to push the envelope, and they continue to elevate, whatever platform that they had. In the competition level is so tight in the WNBA, that it really is a privilege for those girls to be on that stage. They truly are grateful to be there, and they're embodying what it means to play at that professional level, and to now have the further engagement that they have, from the viewers. So seeing someone like Flau'jae Johnson, who is an amazing basketball player, who is someone that already had an exciting buzz behind her on both the court and off the court as an artist, and just in her personal space as well, her personality and how she carries herself. There's so much likelihood to her. But to see someone be able to execute on the court, and then to be able to so quickly shift and grab a mic and perform at a level that is at a high level, it's truthfully, it speaks to her talent and how special she is. Also, I think it also speaks to what we see in women, which is on a daily. If I take a reflection quick to like how my mother is, someone who can do multiple different things at one time at a high level and be able to execute them. And these women carry that, and so to see her to be able to perform a boardroom. I was at the final, I want to say like event party that they had with Finney. It was a modern black girl mixed in with MB360, mixed in with Fenty, Rihanna's brand. And it was just special to see her perform, and you didn't miss an element of the night. Like, it elevated the atmosphere, and there were so many just wonderful, beautiful athletes and people there that were just enjoying the moment, and just really engaging and celebrating the work that has been put into place, also the things soon to come. So, yeah, to see her do that, to grab the mic, she did a quick little shout out to Enrique, who just really killed it during the WNBA All-Star game a few hours before. So, it really just was one of those things where it was shared experience, and it was a special place to be.
Yeah, it's always a special place to be. I mean, come on now. Months ago, you had Sabrina Escu facing Stephen Curry at 3-point one-on-one shootouts. I mean, what is the WNBA going to do to top that? Have Alicia Gray win both the skills challenge and 3-point contest, and Team WNBA defeating USA again, this time carried by Rika Guawawe. And you mentioned, and since we're on the verge of mentioning that, I mean, why don't you talk about like not just the game itself, but the fan engagements from where you were sitting at Sweet Level with a bunch of other influencers like Miss Basketball and the other three ladies whose names I just mentioned earlier in the conversation.
Yeah, man, we had Miss Basketball, you had ABV, you had Rhea, DJ Rhea, you had Aaliyah, you had so many different influencers just all in that one suite. And I guess when you look at them individually, they have so much character and personality, and each one of these people that we speak of are special people. The Hannah Flynn's, they're people that really not just do their created content, but when you get a chance to meet them one on one, they are such special people, high energy people, people who really elevate just the space that they're in at any given moment. So it was something, just you could feel the power of all those creators being in that WNBA suite, as well as the game taking place as well at such a high level, where you have USA basketball versus the WNBA team. And it's just, it was just something that, man, it was like you were always entertained. You were probably overstimulated because you had a little bit of everything going on with the cheering to the dancing to Miss Basketball Christina going dancing back and forth with Hannah Flynn. Like, you know, she even actually Miss Basketball even won. Christina won the fan.
Yeah, I saw that. She was on. Yeah, I saw that when she won a contest for dancing. And she even got herself a prize for it.
Yeah,
Shout out to her, man. And you know what? She does a good job, literally being a basketball influencer, literally.
yeah, no, she does, and she played the game. She played in the Aces Hoop Club Queen of the Court event with Squads and Google Pixel and Red Bull Run the Racks. She played in that and was highly competitive, kept the same energy, you know, throughout that whole competition. And like, it was just great to see her. People like Dayton was there. Just so many different names that you can think of that were really like playing in that game, you know, and to see that transition from her doing that to now being at the game, celebrating the work that she's put in. It was great to see, man. It really was. Like full circle moments all around just happening time and time again.
Yeah, I mean, come on now, especially with everything going on with WNBA Live. I mean, a lot of people come together too, and the fact that they create this opportunity for influencers and fans to meet each other, to produce connections and networking, that's excitement within the league itself.
Yeah, it's genius. It's genius. I mean, listen, the WNBA, and then you need to look at sports in general across across its different and various platforms. The number one thing is the engagement and the connection, right? And those who bring notoriety to the game, who elevate the platform of the game. And with women's sports, you know, I've always said this: when women are behind something, they're behind something. They follow it, they're into it, they're passionate about it, and they go balls to the wall, you know, for it, and they're all about it, right? That support system is there, and it's something that you see with the WNBA, and you see when you have the fans of these different creators, and you see the fans of the players have the opportunity to not only see the players, but also see the creators. They see the creators and see the players, in which they all dwell within the same world. So it's just amazing that the WNBA has that kind of space that they create where the availability for that is there, and they do a great job of people just coming out and kind of having that natural, just human relationship with people that they look up to, or people that you know, that they get opportunities to see and may just feel inspired by, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you also got to find inspiration everywhere you go, especially not that's the people, not just that, but also people rocking the 2040 New York T-shirt that will jacket that literally created in partnership with Ace's brand. I mean, when you see people wearing that, like, what went through your mind?
Oh yeah, the 24 New York collaboration. Listen, man, that first of all, shout out to Brian Quarterbitch and shout out to Nina as well from 24. These two, when they bump heads with things, they've really created some nice pieces. I've worn one during one of the events that I hosted as well, and just seeing that piece before it even got to the players was something that was truly exciting. Was something that you know, I was looking forward to seeing the athletes themselves have an opportunity to like really like embrace it and to hold it for themselves. So having about what 16 of the 24, what was it? 12? How many was it? I can't remember an exact number of athletes. I think, if I'm not mistaken, 16 or 24 of the athletes, you know, had the jackets, or from the U.S. Olympic team were able to were gifted with the jackets, and just the overall appreciation that they have for the overall, just like genuine, like, yo, this is dope. This is so cool. It's something that you hope for. You only could really hope for, when you're creating things, and you only could hope that people like it and feel inspired or feel a piece of what you feel, and the passion that you put into it. So to see that kind of love reciprocated, man, is awesome, man. And you can actually, that the jackets there are limited edition pieces. They're actually available online now. So if you wanted to purchase them, you can do that. You can go to Aces, or you can go to Smoking Aces, where Brian Quartervich's page is at, and there's a link on both pages where you can have access to purchasing those jackets, which I think are super fire, whether it was for the WNBA All-Star or just in general. So.
Yeah, I'm glad. Shout out to Brian. I mean, you guys doing a major job, not just going down there, but partner with other clothing brands to try to get their clothing brand recognized to the public. That's something that really needs to be congratulated and appreciated with.
Oh, thank you, man. And I'm sure also Brian would be like excited and grateful to hear, you say that, man, because it's all about storytelling, right? It's about getting a message across to people. It's about relating to people. It's about inspiring people. And these pieces are always something that is directed towards that, whether it's hustling hard. The All-Star jackets, it's all something commemorating the game and the work that has been put into playing, into playing and being at the best that you can possibly be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Too bad Bianca Pierce didn't get to go to experience of that because she was stuck in the airport. But yeah, you probably saw the documentary earlier why she couldn't make it to the All-Star weekend. But if you don't, the link is below.
Hey, listen, man, that Bianca Pierce not being able to make it was definitely one of those things that was heartbreaking. She's my sidekick, or I'm her sidekick. I don't care however you want to put it, man. It's always a pleasure to have her in the room. She was going to be actually the main host for the Queen of the Court Squads versus Aces event. I was looking forward to just seeing her, because all the work that she has done, I always have to acknowledge her, man, because she is one of those hard workers, amazing spirit, high energy, just genuine person who really has a care for the game, has an eye for the game, and has a voice for the game. And I'm just looking forward to seeing her platform grow. I'm looking forward to seeing her more and more elevated, and her platform elevated, and for people to have opportunity to appreciate the game, of which that she'll be able to paint the picture for them to be able to appreciate it.
Exactly. And don't worry about not making it to this year's All-Star break, Bianca. If you listen to this episode, there'll be other opportunities for you flying. You understand? She got Vegan. She has like later Aces All-American games. She has later Aces basketball events, whatever you guys are planning. She got the Nike Showcase if they bring it back this year. So don't worry about missing this one. Other opportunities will come.
Yeah, for sure, man. And also, even outside of that, man, like I said, she's an amazing person, an amazing talent, and the sky's the limit for her. So yeah, shout out to Big Queen B.
Yeah, shout out to her as well. All right, now let's get to the next topic. As well, yeah, the WNBA already launched a new media rights deal with Disney Company, Amazon Prime Video, and NBC Universal, which means for the next 11 years, you're not going to only get the same WNBA finals telecast on ESPN, but you're also going to get that. But also, Amazon and NBC will also televise at least a few WNBA finals series within the next 11 years on this new media deal. And you're also going to be getting. There are other details going on, which I'll get to later on. But let me ask you this: what do you think that the WNBA finals being televised on Amazon and NBC Universal is going to do for the engagement of the game?
Oh my God! Obviously, the more viewership, man, the better the opportunity, man, to really draw fan base, to draw consumers, to draw attention, right? So I think it's going to continue to speak to the quality of the game of basketball that the WNBA has and where it is going. I think it's going to also elevate the game itself. I think it also is going to push those younger individuals who are looking forward to playing the game, or maybe in some spaces where the game they haven't had access to really feeling, building a love for the game or attraction for the game or interest. Now you may, across the country or across the globe, and being honest, with Amazon Prime being a part of it, have opportunity to begin to grow the game, not just for the WNBA, but for those who may grow an interest to it, a liking to it. I think it's going to bring forth just such I think it's going to bring forth just such a spotlight on what is taking place in sports, and what's taking place, in the WNBA with women's sports as well. Yeah, man, I'm excited to see this. I'm excited to see the finals being played on multiple channels, and excited to see what happens with the game from there. Because I think it's going to also push for the girls to improve their game, and it's only going to grow from there. So I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see that deal taking place. Which we have 11-year deal, almost up to like $3 billion, which is phenomenal for them.
Yeah, exactly. And to continue to build up on the conversation, there's going to be, all three of these platforms are going to have at least 25 regular season games minimum, from Disney platforms to NBC Universal to Prime Video. And then and then later years, when the new deal finally starts up, the Disney will get at least 2 first-round series, while NBC and Prime Video will each get 1. And then it goes to vice versa. You're going to have 5 final series being televised on ESPN Family Networks, while Prime Video and NBC Universal will each get at least get 7 final series and 3 finals each within the 11-year span. So, yeah. So championships will be celebrating, but you got to get your money up for Amazon if you haven't already, and Peacock if you haven't already, because these platforms are going to get a lot more attention now that you have the WNBA televising some of the marquee games. They already get it with the NFL. Now they're going to start getting with basketball too.
Yeah, I'm going to be so. Listen, I'm excited for it, even just for myself, the opportunity to be able to tap into these games and to watch them wherever I'm at. It's going. That's amazing. Half the time there may be a women's game on, but just the marketing behind it, or just the availability to even just like easily see it, is not as it's not there, right? It's not there. But now having that in play, where you can look at it on different broadcasted channels and have opportunity to check it out, man, it's awesome, bro. So I'm excited for that, man. I'm excited for the WNBA. Shout out to the WNBA for making that happen. Yeah, it's gonna be special, man. Definitely gonna be special.
Yes, it will be special, and I can't wait. Make sure you have those saved up, because, well, if you're not going to be sitting in the house watching it with everything going on, you're going to have stream. We're going to have to transform it to streaming platforms eventually, whether we want to or not.
Right.
Seriously, this is how you grow basketball and get people engaged with it a little bit more. You already have the New York Liberty being televised on Fox 5 and My 9 this season. That's big.
Yeah, man, huge. And shout out to the Liberty. They're having an amazing season. They're at the top of the league right now, to be 21-4 going into this All-Star break and this Olympic break. It's exciting to see, being in New York, to see a New York team that when you go to the game, the atmosphere is absolutely amazing. I was speaking with a friend of mine yesterday who was originally from Boston, and she was saying, I went to a New York Liberty game, and I'm used to like the crowd being into games. I'm used to, the high energy and stuff. She was like, but it just felt so different. It felt so positive. It felt so clean. It felt like I was a part of something. And to sit in an arena and feel like you're part of a family, to feel like everyone around you is engaged and every single moment matters, for the fans, that is like, that's how you elevate, an experience. And for the players, that's how you uplift them, and that's how you strengthen them and empower them as well to continue to just give all that they have. It brings more meaning to it, man, and it just really grows the love for the game of basketball, and to be more specific, for women's basketball as well as for the New York Liberty, who hey, we being in New York, we gotta shout them out, we gotta show some love.
Yeah, we add to some love. And while we're on the subject of talking about the New York Liberty, they have the best record in the WNBA at 21-4. That's the highest they finished going to the Olympic break in a while. And yeah, and obviously aware they were in the finals last year and barely losing a game 4 to the Las Vegas Aces. But this time around, they have the top record. I mean, I know it's only because the Aces have had their struggles to begin the year before Chelsea Gray finally came back to play. But yeah. I mean, the Liberty and the Aces are still the favorites to win the championship, even with everything that's starting. That's crazy. But that's besides the point. The New York Liberty have the top record in the WNBA, and obviously with the one thought due to the Olympics. Do you see the New York Liberty holding on to the #1 seed in the WNBA after the after the Olympic break?
Yeah, I mean, you're still correct to say All-Star break. It's what's that? Once every 4 years, you have a break like this where they have this much of a gap, and it actually helps the New York Liberty, especially for a player like Lainey Hamilton, who went through
Actually, Hamilton with the injury that's going to keep out 4 to 6 weeks. That's literally the entire Olympic break right there. So
yeah, which is awesome for her. Gives her a chance to recover, not feel the pressure of trying to rush to get back. Also gives other players the opportunity to really continue to kind of tone in on their skills. And I think even with a player like her, who I think I actually admire her game, right? You have the Breanna Stewarts, you have the Sabrina Iescos, you have the Dontel Jones,
Jones.
Yeah, Jonquel Jones. You have her. You have those players who obviously are all-stars, who obviously are superstars, truthfully speaking. And Jonquel had opportunity to see her in the three-point competition. The way she shoots it, man, she lets that thing go. Also, shout out to Stephanie Dawson, who's a player that I also have the honor of training alongside my brother Rob Raines with Be the Flow in the Flow training. It was great to see Jonquel compete at that level with the three-point competition. To have a big that can stretch out that far and really shoot it, that efficient, is just dangerous. And then to have a guard beside her with Sabrina Iesco who can stretch the floor, who can penetrate, who has an amazing range, who can create her own shot. And man, it's just like, it's mind blowing. It's not it's not for nothing that the Liberty are at the top of the league right now. With the players that are coming, who are stepping up. What is the young lady name who what is her name? She stepped in right when Lainey Hamilton got injured. Number what is her name? Number 5. What's her name?
Was it Nara Sabali, Leonie Febish, Marquisha Davis?
It'll come back to me, but I had an opportunity to watch her play against Chicago Sky and Angel Reese and just the way that she was shooting the ball, man, was unbelievable, man. Letting it go with ease. And I kind of have players that could come off the bench and still step up and play at a high level like that with like consistency. Man, it just speaks to the depth of their roster. To be able to see them kind of really finish off this first half of the season so strong going into this, I think it's only going to continue to elevate them. They had 2 losses to Minnesota Lynx. They lost to Mercury. I think they lost
to Reese, Chicago Sky, and then Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever, which is the most recent one. She had triple-double off the New York Liberty. But it's to be expected because Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are the 2 highest rookies in the WNBA this year.
Yeah, and that in itself, man, is exciting to see those 2 on the court together during the WNBA All-Star game. It definitely was great to kind of just see, all year long since the beginning of the season has been this like back and forth of like somewhat of a competition of the 2, and kind of to see them be able to almost mend that on the court not amongst themselves, but just amongst the fan base, to be able to see them two come together and see both of them cheering for each other, to see Caitlin Clark dishing it to Angel Reese. Those are the things that really carries the torch for the game. So, yeah, man. So, that was pretty cool.
Yep, very cool indeed. And you know what? While we're on the subject, yeah, there's one more thing I left out when talking about the All-Star break, and that was a 3-on-3 contest that they had that featured Christina Dowsey and Lucy Olsen, a player that Rod trained, and Rod trained, put in work at the All-Star break in the 3-point contest, in the 3-on-3 challenge that they've had in between the skills challenge and 3-point contest. I mean, when you see her compete against other pros in the WNBA and professional leagues around the world, how Olympic ready do you think Lucy Olsen is?
Listen, she's definitely well on her way. I think just overall her personality and her mindset and just joy for the game puts her in a position to really, really be a frontliner, for Team USA. She loves the game. In training her, you can just see that she loves the game of basketball, and she brings such a light-hearted feel to it, where you often catch yourself smiling and you enjoy the game again. I think that's the number one thing for all of us basketball lovers, whether you've played at a high level, whether you just played in your backyard or at your local court. We've all had that moment when we were playing where you just felt this bit of joy or this bit of escape, right? And she maintains that within the game. It's definitely business. She's not playing with you. Like the girl is so
playing at all. I mean, come on now. She had to show, especially with you and Rod being there and a bunch of other people that were there. She showcased her skills against some of the best in the world.
Yeah, man, she really does. And our training is very detail oriented. We don't let up in regards to just like being transparent and being honest. We're not gonna be the ones that's just going to just pat you on the butt and say great job for everything. Like, no, we're really going to key in and focus in on meaningful reps, and every step and every movement matters. And she loves that, man. She loves that, and she loves to see her game grow. It's really, really exciting, man, to have opportunity to be up close and personal with developing such an amazing athlete. And so shout out to her. We were proud of her to be able to sit there and watch her play in that 3-on-3 versus Team USA at the All-Star game. And it was just something, man, where you can, even then, the following, we went straight right into Rod and us went straight right into this play. When you stepped here, when you did this move, because that's just how it goes with her, man. She's still going to laugh and dance and enjoy it all. So I'm happy to see Iowa, her in the hands of Iowa. They have an amazing star, an amazing player. And I'm really looking forward to seeing just her career as it builds up from here.
Iowa is going to be playing at the Women's Basketball Showcase at the Balkans there later this year. So don't think that just because she's not in Villanova anymore doesn't mean you're not going to see her ball in New York City, at least as a college basketball player, one more time before she makes it to the pros. Feeling that Caitlin Clark left behind when she left to go to the WNBA. It's probably going to be a transition issue because she's going from the Big East Conference to the Big Ten. But obviously, based on what I saw when she played against Columbia at Columbia, and for what I saw at the All-Star weekend, she's gonna develop a lot.
Yeah, man, she is.
Not being an All-Star caliber player, but she has skill sets to help a team win a championship as a contributor off the bench at least.
Yeah, no, she's going to. The thing I think about Lucy is that she's quick, but she's also very it's deceitful. Like you can be right next to her and it takes a moment for you to recognize that, like, yo, she is moving at a pace where I felt like I was running beside her. But she's like, I told her even in training, I'm like, yo, you remind me of like the little sister that just would take off running and was just so fast that you always felt like you had to like go 100 miles per hour to keep up with her. And she could stop on a dime, and she just loves the game. She could pivot and shift her body in so many different ways. She has a great mid-range pull-up. She's developing just more of a body strength in general, which is going to continue to help with her 3-point shooting or long range shooting, and she can finish around the basket in so many different ways. So she's a special player who sees the game, who sees the evolution of the game, and who's going to be someone that can adapt under any and every circumstance. So it's going to be great to just have everyone else have opportunity to see that on the stage that Iowa will be bringing for her, and I think it will only elevate her.
Yeah, it really would. I know, and that's the type of skill set you need in order to actually build your all-star portfolio and your basketball portfolio as you continue to progress in this league.
Mm-hmm.
Now, onto the game itself, and obviously, as I mentioned earlier, Team USA lost to Team WNBA once again, and Arika Guwawe went crazy. But do you think Team WNBA's victory over USA this year is better than the one in 2021, or just as good?
I think it's better because the stage that was set. You know, the stage that was set, there was a lot of, I feel like even maybe the girls in themselves weren't concerned about it, but there was a lot of pressure, I feel like, underlining just the overall performance that the WNBA All-Star weekend was going to have, right? You look back and you see, can they sustain it? Is it going to be worth watching? These are the questions that some people ask in a sense, or and they just like crush the ideas of that, you know, just the play that it was, the excitement that it was, that it gave. Enrique just going crazy. To be able to see that in person, man, it's giving a bit of Kyrie, a bit of Kobe, a bit of you just can't guard me. It's just like it was so exciting. But then also, as you see, you have opportunity to see the Team USA, who's going to be representing us. You get opportunities to also see them and to see them continue to grow and develop while they're playing. Even while they're playing, of course, like they want to win, but there's an aspect of them that also is trying to execute and get things right and figure out these different things, because they know that the job ahead is a big task. You know, nothing is given. And I think they did a great job responding. What was it, Tuesday they played against, was it Germany?
They played against Germany and they steamrolled them. Well, that's no surprise. I mean, you knew that Team USA is getting ready for the competition. I mean, and they won 55 games in a row in Olympic play. 55 games in a row. That's crazy. Of course, and they may not have that same success going up against teams and rosters outside the Olympics, but at the very least, they get together and put up wins when it matters the most. It's almost like nobody can stop it. They haven't lost a game in the Olympics since 1992. That's how. Well, obviously Cheryl Reeve is the coach now, but when Dawn Staley was coaching, she put together a roster, and the coaches that came before her, they put together USA rosters that dominate. So, what are they going to do in the Olympics this year? And while we're on the subject, before you finish your point, like, what can you expect from Team USA as they look to bring home gold? And Diana Taurasi looking to bring home the 6th gold medal in her basketball career, surpassing Sue Bird, who she won it with 5 times.
Shout out to DT. She was there during All-Star break, and just to see her engage in every moment, to be approachable in every moment, was really special to see, man. She has such an amazing rapport on and off the court, such an amazing connection with the players, with the fans, with the people around the league, that it's just, you know, it's really, really special to see. And just like I tip my hat off to her, because she's amazing on the court, but she's just as amazing off the court. So it'd be something sweet to see her get the gold again for the 6th time. I believe that they have all of the pieces to do that. I think individually, you look at the players and each one of them are winners, you know, and I think that's something that people may sometimes not really be able to kind of like calculate when it comes down to this type of competition, a worldly competition like this. It's like people who are used to winning, people who know how to win, and people who have been tried and showed themselves to be true. And you have that with the leadership of DT. You have that with an amazing player like Asia Wilson. You have Breonna Stewart. Just so many different pieces on that team. that know how to win. And I think their will, matched with their talent and their ability, is going to be something that's going to be very difficult to overcome.
Yep. Very difficult to overcome because that's how DT operates. All right. Now, obviously, to continue getting back to the whole media deals that happened, the NBA announced that it's going to make its return to NBC. And watching basketball growing up, you remember the round ball rock music that plays every time NBC's get ready to televise their NBA games from like in the 90s and the early 2000s before they went off the air in 2022. Excuse me, in 2002, and now it's coming back in 2025. This is, I mean, I'm sorry the NBA and TNT can't get their deal back, but at the very least, it's coming back to NBC. Now, with that being said, what do you remember about watching the NBA broadcast on NBC?
I mean, you know, that was my introduction. That was my introduction to the game of basketball. That feel just felt so raw back then, right? It felt so you could just feel the growth of the game even then. As we speak about, you know, the elevation process of the WNBA, of course, you know, at that point, you know, it was high quality basketball. Everyone was tuned in, but you could just feel it, man. You could sense it, and as you said, just the sound of the intro to the game starting is just one of those things that you hear it from around the corner and you know what it is, and it kind of like triggers. It's triggering, and it's triggering in a good way. You know, it's triggering in a way that really uh, uh, almost like prepares you for what's to come, but also puts you in a state of mind to really kind of like to get excited, get excited to see the game, get excited to see who's going to be playing. So, you know, growing up and having an opportunity to see the game on that broadcast, you know, it was, you know, it's special, man. It's good because, you know, the game in itself back then, like I said, too, you know, it may not have been all lights and glamours that it also has added now. But you knew those guys were going to play, you know, those guys wanted to compete, and you was going to get your worth out of it. So that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to to the whole transition to different networking platforms that the NBA is going to have. I mean, you still gonna get the NBA finals on ESPN every year for this new deal, but the only difference is when the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, they're going to have to share with Amazon Prime and the NBC Universal platforms. And oh yeah, the NBA Cup is going to be televised on the Amazon Prime platform as well. So yeah, it's a transition thing as you try to get people to not only watch it on television, but also in streaming platforms as well. It's pretty much the same appeal we have with the WNBA deals. Man, basketball media is just incredible once it's put together. I mean, you knew it was going to be incredible before it even happens.
Yeah. It's something that people is going to have to get acclimated with, get accustomed to. You know, I still got to tip my hat off, man. I'm going to miss TNT and what it brought. You know, like I said, growing up, being able to see that the coverage that they gave for the game is how I remember the game, and I know the game. So that doesn't mean that transition into the new is going to be impossible. Like, no, absolutely, the game is going to be the game. It's going to be interesting, and you know, I'm here for anything that's going to grow the game. You know, there's pieces of that you wish you carried along. I mean, to be able to watch Ernie and Shaq and Kenny and Charles after a game, before a game, or at any point of the game, is a show within a show. You know, sometimes you regardless if the game was a great game or not, you were looking forward to that show. So that's going to be something that's going to be dearly missed. That's going to be something that you know, that's really going to be cherished for what it is, and it's something that was special. I don't think you could take anything from those guys. They did an unbelievable job. They gave the people more than what they wanted, and you know, just really just kind of like looking to kind of like back the new and see the game itself continue to reach the people, to speak to the people, and to elevate the game.
Yep. Elevation is all we need right now. And now up in this episode of the Put That Sports Talk. Thank you for stopping by, Joshua Thompson. I really appreciate all the work you're doing in basketball, and can't wait to see what future plans you have for the Aces clothing brand and its basketball games for the future.
Hey, man, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I think it's such a blessing, man, to be on this platform with you. I thank God for this opportunity. I thank you for this opportunity. The Aces brand has some exciting things that we have in the works that we're looking to bring to the game. As the game is elevating, we're continuing to elevate our platform. So definitely stay tuned in. Definitely stay tuned into, my channel and follow me on, through social media. And everything else that's to come, because we're going to make sure that we give you our best.
Yeah. For Joshua Thompson, Rafiq was on. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. My guy, man. Much love always.
Mm-hmm.